This week on At Your Leisure, we join Chris Howler for a celebration ride. The man who's been steering Utah's OHV program for the last 12 years is saying goodbye.
Then it's out to the edge of the 10th largest desert in the world, just south of Delta, for some riding in the Cricket Mountains.
Finally, our Legends of the Trail series continues as we learn more about Chris Howler's career serving the OHV industry. It's all headed your way right now. At Your Leisure is next. Hey everybody, welcome to At Your Leisure. You just caught the real Chris Howler in action.
Sneaky guy.
Sneaky guy.
We're gonna miss that bugger.
Welcome to our show. Today marks the last ride that Chris Howler will be taking as the Off-Highway Vehicle Program Director, and we just had to be here for this event. It's a great honor of ours to be invited on this very exclusive ride with the people that have made it happen. So I'm Chad Booth.
I'm Rhea Rossi Booth.
And I'm Brett Hermanson, the tail gunner.
It's a beautiful day. It's nice and it's nice and crisp. A little
Fabulous.
bit of snow on the ground.
The swell is never disappointing.
No, in fact, it might make it even better. So
Yeah.
we are going to spend a little bit of time learning about Chris during the show today, and we're going to find out what some of our friends here think is what he's contributed is the most important.
I think a lot of the trail system, he's bought and funded to keep them open. At the search and rescues, he's supplied OHVs, motorcycles, and he understands how that's important. And then his knowledge of the trail systems in the state is unmatched.
I think the biggest thing is whenever we've gone to him and needed some help with something, he's stood up and helped us. He's never been afraid of an issue or backed down from it. He'd face it head on and we'd work our way through it.
I met him 12 years ago when he came all the way down to Moab to ride just to get acquainted with each part of the state and the groups there. And so I was impressed that he really was reaching out rather than waiting for everyone to come to him.
Chris has always been somebody that you could call on the phone and talk to him, and Chris, the man that Chris is, looked for people to get involved and to make things happen in the OHV community.
He was a little green around the collar at first as far as OHV management goes and stuff as he come in, and honestly some of us that were working in the OHV field were a little skeptical of him, you know, with his lack of experience in OHV management, but I'll tell you, Chris has done a phenomenal job.
I think his legacy is going to be building the community up to what it is today. He's a great guy. He's done so much for the OHV program in Utah. Oh, I wish him all the best, but of course I wish him everything, the best that the world has to offer.
Obviously, Chris has a lot of friends here in Utah, and we're all going to miss him. That's evident from us coming out today on this cold, cold day to see him off. Next is the where to.
Just south of Delta, Utah, there's an often overlooked range called the Cricket Mountains. And hidden within the valleys of this relatively small mountain range, you'll find more than 129 miles of well-marked OHV trails. They're perfect for beginners and those who just want to relax without the crowds.
The rides out here, my favorite is just, having solitude. We haven't encountered another ATV along the trail, which is really nice to go out and get away from people.
A lot of the times, I think most of us are so absolutely connected to our phones, social media, and we don't know how to unplug. So when you get out here on these trails, you have no choice because you don't have any service. So that's what I love the best, is that we can just get out, calm down, reconnect with friends, have good conversations, stop, chat. It's uplifting.
Rising up from the eastern side of Sevier Lake, the Cricket Mountains lie just within the eastern edge of the Great Basin Desert. Now, the Great Basin Desert is the 10th largest desert in the world, and it's also considered a cold desert. This means that the less than 10 inches of precipitation it receives annually mostly falls in the form of snow.
I love that we have such a diverse scenery. You have flatlands, and then all of a sudden we see these mountains, and it's beautiful, and that's what I really loved about today.
Right off Highway 257, several trailhead access points make it very easy to get away from it all and traverse the Cricket Mountains.
You can park along the road and travel in on your ATV, or you can drive a vehicle to the trailhead if you want to. But a lot of the roads out here, you can travel 50, 60 miles an hour to get to the places you need to, and once you get there, you're into rough, rugged country that you have to take your time and pick your way through. Just really scenic.
Wherever it looked like it was a good place to go, we went, and we kind of had a plan, but when you go riding, you always want to just, if you see a nice cutoff, let's go, go see what's out there.
Our family just purchased the Antelope Rv Park. We've got around 100 spots. Perfect location to do these ATV rides. Good place for families to come in and stay the night or the weekend. We will have a pavilion for family reunions, large groups.
Along with the RV park, Delta has all the services and amenities you need in order to travel comfortably and explore Millard County.
It's pretty close to everything. We have so much variety between, if you like history, if you like to see nature, and just exploring the different types of things that we have out here. Native American items, the old mining that we had around here. It's diverse, it's very diverse, and I love that.
Surprisingly large amount of open space, probably the biggest backyard in the state of Utah.
With a backyard like this, why go anywhere else? With this week's Where To, I'm Terry Wood.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Scott Huntsman at my Tunex shop in South Jordan. This is what's new this week. Hey, you remember this guy? This is Brandon Scott with the Utah Jeep Crew. Brandon brought his JK to the shop today because we're going to install a pair of Apex Auto Links. It's a way to disconnect your sway bar manually without having to pull links like we did. Let's get on inside. Let's put these on. Let's do it. So the first step was to get the Jeep in. We have the wheels off. We have access to these sway bar links. Now, this is the part that we're going to replace. First thing is just get this off. Okay, guys, so with the length off, this is the next step, step 2. If you have manual links to disconnect, that could be a real bear at times. What makes this a unique design with the Apex is the fact that it remains a one-piece thing. After we've set that length, when it's on the vehicle, we can unlock it. Upon unlocking, it allows then the link to retract and compress with movement of the vehicle. So there's no disconnecting anything, just except the lock. When you're done off the trail, lock the top, it returns to place. Now it's a solid unit again, and your sway bar is now functional. So I really like this. It's very well machined, it's very well engineered, excellent components involved, and the nice thing also, it gives you the ability to set the length of this anywhere from 6.5 to 11 inches in length. So what we want to do first is match the length of the original link. Okay guys, next step, what I've done is I've set that final length. I put the circlip down into the top spot, and then you use this jam nut with a little Loctite on the threads and torque it to 20 foot-pounds. I very carefully clocked the upper mount to the logo that I want to be exposed because it looks good. This will clock the unit correctly. Now, we're gonna have to get a couple of bolts for the bottom side. This would be a downside of the kit because we already had a quick release sway bar link in place. We're gonna have to get a better grade 8 bolt to put back into it. The kit didn't come with those, so it's my only drawback with it. Okay guys, the apex link is mounted in place. The bolts are torqued. The label is exposed just the way we want it. So the way this works is right now it's locked, which is the anti-sway position when we're driving down the highway. When we're off-road and he unlocks these, both sides, it's gonna give this the ability just to move independently without being locked to the bar. Good for off-road. Hey guys, project complete. Now I really like these apex links. One thing we did is we had the Jeep under a little bit of a bind. We could unlock this easily even under that bind. The other cool part is they lock and they will self-lock back to their original position. I think that's pretty cool. Now, if you're interested in a set of these, come see us here at Tunex. West Valley, South Jordan, any of them for that fact. We sell and install them, and I think right now what we need to do is go try them out on the trail.
That's right.
Hey, I'm Scott Huntsman. More at your leisure in a moment.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're on the Chris Holler farewell tour. Boo-hoo, we're gonna miss him.
Oh yeah, but you know, he's such a rock star. I mean, that's what it sounds like. The Chris Holler farewell tour.
Well, he has been a rock star for state parks.
Get tickets while you can.
Right on. Yeah, so we are standing on this beautiful spot called the Dike Overlook, and this overlook is phenomenal. It is breathtaking. Can't explain it, but I'm sure you'll see pieces of it. It is amazing.
It's just, there's so many layers of land and stark, steep ridges. You just wonder how God created it, but it's marvelous.
Oh, yeah, he really blessed Utah with these beautiful sites.
That's true, and I think Joan Powell's very wise because, I mean, how could you not want to come back? I think where he's going to retire to, there's no place like this, so
No.
This is a good last impression to make on
It is. And we gave him some really cool departing gifts. Everybody just brought him something, so we're going to show you a little bit of that.
We want to welcome everybody here today and invited to come out on our ride here, and we're going to go out to a beautiful place. And our guest of honor is Chris Holler. Not only is he a guest of honor, he's a true blue friend.
Well,
and
thank
I want
you.
you to know how much we appreciate it.
Hey, how about that? I thought the whole idea that I was coming out of the dark after retiring working for the state. How about that? Very, very nice. Very nice.
I'm gonna present you this little gift here.
Thank you.
You open that up.
Look at that.
This is a picture.
I don't even remember that.
Of Mr. Haller himself.
Thanks, Brian. That's really, really, really nice.
It is. We have a gift for Chris too, and it's not Aunt Bethany's cat. but it is a gift we'd like to present to Chris because we know where you're going, the mountains aren't going to be as big.
Oh my! Hey! How about that? Oh! Wow!
All right.
Let it rip.
That's so you'll just remember us out here in Utah. And you can always use this to enter the AYL sticker contest.
Yeah, you can win now.
While we would give Chris the whole state because we appreciate him so much, he certainly can't have that. That is the mustn't touch it sand dunes. And that means it's got to be left alone. So
Yeah, so don't be like driving your little rig out there.
I don't think we can even give him a spoonful of it just because of the name.
Yeah, so when it says mustn't touch, they're not kidding.
Well, that's true. We're just right now on a road that boundaries wilderness area. It's called the Muddy Creek Wilderness, and You know, surprisingly, there's some very fragile terrain out here. It doesn't look like it, but there's some really fragile terrain. So everybody stay on the designated trails, please.
And there's no reason to get off of it because this is spectacular and you can just see for miles and miles and miles. You don't need to ride down there, you can see it.
True, and I almost think this is so starkly beautiful in desert that Joan picked it on purpose just to make Chris come back and visit us more.
She did, and he will.
Yeah, that's true. Right now, it's time for us to go off to her along the way.
For the past 50 years, the Utah off-road community has found incredible support and resources within the state's off-highway vehicle program. The OHV program is the product of countless people working tirelessly. Together, they've grown motorized outdoor recreation in Utah into the world-class destination it has become. For over a decade, Chris Haller has served as the OHV program coordinator, leading it into the next century as a dedicated and grounded leader. He truly is a legend of the trail.
Whoever takes his place is going to have big shoes to fill. I know that I talk to Chris quite often, and I think he wears about 50 hats. He'd pull one off and put on another one and walk into a different room for a different type of meeting.
State parks.
The guy knew about state parks, boating,
Adventures for everybody.
OHV program, law enforcement. I mean, he just had knowledge on everything, and to have him share that with me and the OHV program is just amazing, and he's going to be missed. I looked at what needs to be filled, the position that Chris has been carrying, and it's almost going to take 3 people to do what Chris has done. It's amazing.
There is no typical workday, for one thing. And being in charge of the program, you know, the job demands a lot of different forms of yourself and sacrifices that it takes to run the program.
Chris graduated from Ohio State University and accepted his first position with the Utah Division of Parks and Recreation in 1992. From humble beginnings as a park ranger at Bear Lake State Park, Chris's career saw him take on all types of challenges, from serving as the wildlife area supervisor at Hardware Ranch to being the assistant park manager at Antelope Island. In 2010, he was appointed as the Division of Parks and Recreation OHV coordinator. He brought a lifetime of skills, experience, and knowledge to the position, and he made an enduring impact on both the state of Utah and everyone he worked with.
Fred Hayes, he planted the seed on what his vision was for the OHV program. Chris took it and cultivated it, watered it, and the forest grew. And Chris was not selfish with his knowledge, and he shared it with the OHV program to where I think we have a great future ahead of us.
When people look on the history books of not only off-highway vehicles, but recreation as a whole, and I'm talking nationwide because Utah is #1 in the country, plain and simple, and we're happy to be a part of that. I know I am. You know, he's a large contributor to that. I'll miss him from the bottom of my heart, really. He's ending his career the way he began it, in a humble manner, you know.
As Chris humbly steps into the next chapter of his life, he's very confident in the future of Utah's OHV program.
I've just had the opportunity to be a part of something really darn cool. The program will always be here. The program's not going to go anywhere. It's the best in the world, flat out. Bottom line. I don't care what anybody says anywhere. This is the best operated, managed, and administered and enthusiastic OHV trail system in the world. And it's only going to get better. The community is very, very strong, and I know that they will be able to champion whatever's laid out. There will be new things. They won't be Chris's footprints anymore. There'll be somebody else's footprints, and that's good. That's a good thing. It's very, very healthy to bring in change because change can be very, very promising and rewarding.
Thank you, Chris. The future certainly is promising for you and for Utah. Happy retirement. You've earned it. I'm Stephen Heumann for Legends of the Trail.
I like how the features in southern Utah have really practical names.
Oh,
like like Horizon Arch.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's on the horizon.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I didn't know we were in southern Utah. I thought we were in central Utah.
I think it's usually safe to say if you're in the east half of Utah, below I-70, that would be considered southern Utah.
Okay. It's a good thing he's my little compass because I get lost a lot, and I'd get you even more lost if you asked me to help you.
Well, that's why we have the outsiders.zone. That's a place you can go to download maps of a lot of interesting trails like this. We have over 50 or 60 on the website right now, and we have
more to come.
Another 50 that are in the process of being put online. So check it out, and you can find out how to travel down here.
Yeah, this is just a spectacular spot. Every spot you pull over, it's just breathtaking.
It is, and winter's actually a wonderful time to be down here.
It is.
Let's take a look at what's coming up next week.
Next week, we're making the most of the snow, and we're heading up to Park City to check out the historic Union Pacific Rail Trail on snowshoes.
Then the winter adventures continue as we head up to Daniel Summit to try out the ropes of kiteboarding.
Finally, we head over to Weller Recreation to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to build your favorite machine. Now let's take a look at our contest winner.
Randy and Susie Mattinson, you are the lucky winners of an outdoor stove from Camp Chef. This is the best way to get your cooking done in the great outdoors. Visit campchef.com for more information.
You've also won a bonus $100 gas and gift card from the folks at Eagles Landing, which is the best place to fuel up on your next adventure.
Congratulations. Be sure to call us at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize. Well, thanks for joining us for this show. It's one very dear to our heart. At Your Leisure kind of grew up with Chris. I mean, as he's matured in his position with the state, and we will miss him.
Yep, and it's just amazing how many people, everybody here and so many more, you've touched so many people's lives, Chris, and enhanced their recreational opportunities. It's just going to be a sad day when you're gone, but we know where to find you.
And just a reminder, we're on TV stations in 23 states, so if you try hard enough, you can check in with us from time to time. All right, I think we should end this show with a cheer for our friend Chris Howard. Ready?
Yeah, I already know what we're going to do.
What?
Let's go, everybody. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Yay!